Hey everyone, welcome to episode number 10 of Hockey with Balls. I'm your host, James Cairns for YesYouKen Sports. And it's been a long time. It's been actually a week and a half or 2 weeks now since we recorded an episode. So I really do apologize for that. I don't like the inconsistency and stuff like that, but unfortunately life takes precedence. And Ken has had to been dealing with some family issues, and it's not always easy for me to record, especially dealing with doctors and stuff like that for my surgery, as well as trying to coordinate, with the kids and the wife and stuff like that. So I'm not trying to make excuses. I try and be as consistent as possible, but with the combination of balancing everyone's schedule and stuff like that, it has been extremely difficult to put out episode number 10, but hopefully we're back on track now. Just to get you guys caught up, there is a few things coming up or down the pipeline. And as far as my surgery, I am now out of a cast, which is great. I'm excited. I've been at the gym ever since I've been out of the cast. I'm in the air cast now. Not exactly where I want to be. I want to be in a shoe, obviously, but I am taking my time. And I am in the gym every single day. It's been a mental relief to be able to do something like that. I'm going to try and make some appearances at the rink here and there, start shooting around and stuff, even though I'm in my air cast, and get some shots down, get back into that mental mindset of playing again. And I do have a tournament coming up. It's a nice kind of tournament to kind of get climatized or get back into things with. It's the over 50 Super Series. I am an underager still, but I'll be participating in the over 50 Super Series being held in Irving, New York, which is exciting. So I'm looking forward to that. Going to be playing with my PA Fury teammates. Haven't seen them for a while, just because I have been out of commission. I was supposed to be in a Long Island tournament with them, and I was hoping to go to Pottstown as well. So unfortunately I had to miss both of those tournaments. But I am excited to be in the tournament in Irving, New York, April 17th to 19th. So it's going to be a great weekend. And I even got new kicks for that tournament, so I'm going to unbox those and show you guys what I grabbed, as well as some people inquired how I do custom shoes, what it is that I do exactly, and the process behind it. It is a lot of work. I believe I stated that in one of the other episodes, that I do custom shoes and the amount of work that's involved. But the end product is always great, whether it's just simple colorway changes, some sort of graphics or portraits or characters, or something unique I can add to the shoe. I do have my style preference, which is a kind of cartoony kind of look to them, to shoes and gloves and stuff like that. I really like doing stuff like that. I think it adds something different. I mean, we can get all realistic and stuff like that, but sometimes it just looks like a decal, or it looks like someone added something, where the cartoon, I can really the cartoon look, I can really add some flair to it and make it really stand out and look different, as opposed to other people's gear or whatever they're using. So that's just my personal style. So I will show you how I do that, and like I said, my first tournament or first playing will be April 17th. I know I'm going to be in great shape. It's just my cardio. My cardio is going to be so shit. Like, I don't even think, like, we'll see. Usually I last full games, like, no problem, but I'm just excited to be back. I'm going to be a little jittery too. But I'm hoping that everything goes well and I play well in my first tournament back. And we'll see how it goes. If I can't do it, if it hurts too much, then obviously I'll let the team know, or the guy who runs the team know. Shout out to Mitch, and I'll let him know that, like, I'm not good. Like, I can't do it. But I have tolerated a lot of pain in the past, and I have been playing for a few years now in pain. So I expect to be able to play and do my best in the condition that I am at the time. All right, guys. So let's get into it. Let's unveil the new kicks I do have for that tournament. I'm pumped. I grabbed these. So basically, the colorway of the PA Fury is Pennsylvania Fury is black, orange, yellow. Yeah, black, orange, and yellow. So it's kind of like a not somewhat like a neon, like a scarlet orange and yellow. So it kind of looks like candy corn jerseys. We have an inside joke with our team that, you know, one of the sets of jerseys, the orange ones specifically, look like candy corn, and some guys hate them. But I don't mind them at all. I just wear whatever. It is what it is. But so I had to find some sort of kicks that were that could relate to that color and stuff, and I found like the perfect pair, and they're brand new actually. They were just released not too long ago, so just dropped. They're the Giannis Freak 7s. All right, so really cool box. And let's get to the shoe. They are Nikes, and like I said, really cool box. Colors are awesome. It's kind of awkward, but here they are. Damn. So I am gonna customize these a little bit. Let's get them out of here. I'm gonna customize these a little bit, add my own flair to them. Maybe I might take out this pink color here. It's actually hard plastic, so it's gonna be, I have to actually do something totally different in order to deal with that and get it painted so it doesn't peel off and flake off and stuff like that. So it has to actually be stripped down to its raw material in order to have it painted. And then once it's painted, you have to basically seal it again and try and make it look as original as possible. So these shoes are super, super light, and the tread on these is incredible. You guys already know I like the width, so I mean they got great width. They're the same width as my Mellows, my Mellow MB4s. So same width. The tread is all over the place, which is great for traction. A lot of cushion in the heel. I don't know if I could show that. Yeah, you can't tell too well on the camera here, but there's a lot of cushion. You should be able to see it there. A lot of cushion on the inside of the shoe itself. These are actually brand new, never worn yet. So there's a lot of cushion on the insole here. Little bit of a tongue that comes up to protect your bridge of your foot there. But it's soft. It's soft material. Personally, I prefer the shoe to have soft, breathable material down here and something a little harder up here, just where the shin pad meets the shoe, just to give you that added protection, sometimes from a ball or a slash or something like that. So these are not my standard shoe. I like mids to high tops, so these are mid to lows, which is a little bit different than what I get. But the colorway is exactly like PA Fury. It's got the black, it's got that kind of neon orange with the yellow. So what I'm actually thinking of doing is the PA Fury logos just says Fury, and it's got the keystone because Pennsylvania is the keystone state. So it's got a keystone with Fury through it with some flames. So what I'm thinking of doing is turning this yellow Nike logo and putting a keystone right here, and then making this all black, either black or it'll say Fury. So I'll have to show you guys the finished product. I like the way the back comes up a little high, protects your Achilles as well, and it's hard. So you get some added protection back here. See, these are basketball shoes, guys. So when you're wearing basketball shoes, they're not designed more for protection as far as basketball. I mean, you're not gonna get slashed in your heel and stuff like that. So I mean, anything that like extra rubber on the toes and stuff like that, or on the toes or in the heel, is actually a bonus when you're looking for shoes for ball hockey, because it just gives you more protection from stick work and the ball and stuff like that, right? It's got a nice like ridge here to it too that gives you a lot of protection along the side here. This is all like extra padded material, like a hard kind of foam or rubber. But I mean, the shoe, I swear to God, it feels like a sock. It is so light. So I can't wait to try these out. I'm excited, and I'll show you as soon as I have them done. I'll show you on the next episode that I have them done what I did to the actual shoe. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, love them. They're great. Look great. So brand new Giannis Freak 7s just dropped not too long ago. So the process, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you these. These are my Way of Wade's Encores. So I'm gonna color these, and I'm gonna show you the process, what you need to do in order to color them. Okay, I'm just gonna show you a little bit here, and to change the colorway. So what I want to use on these shoes is like a neon green. These are gonna be from my Niagara Rage team, and so what I want to do is change this Volt Yellow or Volt Green color to a neon green. So it's gonna be this color here. So it's that color right there. So that's what it's gonna end up being, and that's just to match the jerseys that we have for the Rage team. And all the Volt Yellow, everything you see, I'm going to try as much as possible, is going to be this color. Okay, this is Angelus leather paints. Okay, they're the best in the business by far. I've never had a problem with them, and sometimes I don't even need to really reseal the shoe. It all depends on the texture of the shoe. I can add like a matte finish to the actual paint, because most of the shoes that you get, they have like a matte look to them or a matte finish. Some will have a patent leather, like Jordan 12s, etc. will have that patent leather look that you have to restore. So you're gonna have to use a high gloss or a high gloss like a glaze in order to get to restore that. But this here, it's a lot of matte color. So what I'll do is I'll add a matte finish to the actual paint. So when I'm painting it, it'll have that matte look to it. So it'll look like it's exactly factory made, how it came from Way of Wade. All right, so the process, so what you'd want to do is, since we're only doing the Volt Yellow color, you're gonna want to get like a cloth, like a lint-free cloth is the best. So the same one you would use for cleaning your TV screens or your glasses. So you can go to a dollar store or whatever, you can find lint-free cloths, and you're gonna want to add acetone. So you get your acetone. I think I have some here. I also picked up at the dollar store, so it's relatively cheap to do. It's just a long process. All the materials do add up, obviously, so it's not cheap as far as the finished product, because I mean you're gonna have to get yourself a bottle of the acetone. Acetone is very scary to work with, especially with certain materials on the shoe. If you're rubbing the acetone on this Volt Yellow, what could happen if you're not prepped properly is the Volt Yellow will bleed into this white. All right. So then it's gonna look like you have sweat stains or something along here. It's gonna ruin the material. So you want to avoid that at all costs, right? So it's very tedious work. It's not as easy as just throwing on the acetone, cleaning off all the factory seal down to get down to the raw material. It's tedious. You have to take your time. You have to make sure you prep well. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to get all this down to its raw material underneath. So every shoe that you get that has different colors or logos on them, or they all have a finish on them, okay? So that's the finish you want to get down. You want to get down to the raw material. And you'll be able to tell, because what'll happen is right now it's slippery. You can feel like it's soft, it's smooth. So what end up happening is when you get down to the raw material, your finger will actually be sticking. Like it'll feel kind of sticky, like you're touching rubber. Okay, so that's what you'll end up feeling, and then you know you're down to it, because you don't want to go down too far. You don't want to like use the acetone and ruin the entire material, because that can be done too. You can use too much acetone or wipe it down too much where you actually ruin the material that you're using. So bad. Obviously with material, this is a fabric material here. You're not going to have to use acetone on that. You're only gonna have to use acetone on the areas with a finish on them, okay? So this here, there's nothing really you can do. The best thing you can do with anything like a fabric or material, so you have to use, it's called Angelus Too Soft, which is a, so it's kind of like a thinner you add to the paint, which helps it adhere to fabric material. And I won't go into all the details and all the different types of products that I use. Like I said, there's a process to it, right? And it can get pretty expensive. I mean, these paints aren't very cheap at all, right? I believe like even this bottle here, this small bottle, is like $10 to $15 just for this. So you know, when you have a whole bunch of paints, you know, for different colorways, or people call me with different or text me with different orders of different colorways they want, or portraits and stuff like that, I have to use combinations. I have to mix colors and stuff like that, so I have to make sure I have them in stock or available to me. Not to mention all the thinners, the application products like Too Soft, Too Hard, the mattes, the glosses, like all that type of stuff. Okay, so it is a lot. It's a lot to learn, but over time I've learned it and kind of perfected it. So I'm always learning still, and always willing to do more or try and get better and stuff like that. So that's always a goal. But when I say prep work, guys, we'll go right to the prep work here. I'll show you real quick. You're gonna want to use painter's tape, so you can buy this at the dollar store as well. Wherever you can save money, trust me. The only thing you don't want to save money on, obviously, is your paints and your paint brushes, because you don't want bristles sticking to the paint, and you don't want cheap paint. I have an airbrush gun that I use as well, that helps with bigger projects. For something like this, because it's small and has little intricate areas that I'm going to be painting, I'm not going to use an airbrush. If it was bigger, if I was covering this whole white area of the shoe, yeah, I use my airbrush gun so that I can spray it, get a nice even coat of paint on, and it looks great. So what we're gonna do here is, what you want to do first is acetone this to get it down to its raw material, okay? Some people would use the painter's tape first to really mark off your section. Depending on the material you're working with, you don't want to use acetone on the green tape and the green get on the white. That's my only thing. But because I've been doing this for such a long time now that I'm pretty steady with my hands, so I'll use a Q-tip and stuff like that to use the acetone along here. Sometimes I won't even tape, depending on what needs to be done, but it's always good to prep, especially if you're just starting to do your own shoes or gloves. It's always better to prep and make sure you do a good job prepping. All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead here and apply the tape. Okay, you're gonna wanna do little section by little section. Okay, the great thing about using thinner tape too is because you can get a wide painter's tape or you can get like a thinner painter's tape. Using the thin one, you can kind of curve it, right? Where with the bigger one, it's a little harder. But I'm only taking like little pieces. You can even go smaller if you want, something like that. And you're just going to tape off all the areas that you don't want to paint. Right. Hopefully you guys can't hear my aquarium. I got a filter there that's annoying. But I'm just going to do this real quick, just to give you guys a general idea. I don't want to be here all night doing this, but I am going to be painting this shoe soon regardless. So I mean, it's well worth doing now. And it's just to give you guys an idea of how I do it. I know there was a lot of interest in people wanting to know the process and how I do it. For those of you that already know, that's awesome. Maybe you do your own shoes or gloves and stuff like that, which is great because I love all that custom stuff. I love all the custom looks and guys that do like gear and stuff for their teams and different like hoodies and shirts and stuff like that. I love all that stuff, man. Feels like an Art Ross episode or something. All right, so this is basically, I'm just gonna show you the process because I'm not gonna make this a long video. Anyways, it was just more of a catch-up video and let you guys know what's going on. And again, I apologize for the inconsistency and with the episodes. And it's, you know, it's not easy to always have episodes on hand or have the time to do things with busy lives. But I try my best and to coordinate with Ken and stuff like that as well. More people involved in time slots and stuff like that of other episodes, whether it be UFC or lacrosse and stuff like that. You can't be pushing out the ball hockey content on the same time as UFC content and stuff like that. It's just counterproductive. So I hope you guys understand. But anyways, guys, this is basically how I do it. Right, you just apply the painter's tape, and let me dim this down a little here. See if it shows up a little better. So yeah, I apply the painter's tape. So I want to cover as much as the edge as possible. Like I said, I've developed a really steady hand. Well, I've always had a steady hand. I used to do line work, in between work and line work for animated cartoons and stuff like that. So I used to do all the line work, which is very tedious. So that's basically what you do. And all that will end up being this green color. All right, so then when you peel it away, you'll have the nice edge I'll do it here because I'm gonna have to redo it anyways because I'm gonna acetone it first. But you'll have that light gray line of stitching all around here still, right? We want to avoid getting paint on that. And that's up to you as the artist, doing the very meticulous work, being very careful along the edges, knowing how to use your brush in the right way to avoid getting paint. I like to work, so if this is the gray line, I'm going on this material, I like to work away from it. So I'll go with not very much paint on the brush, and I'll just come away like this, all along the line, like that, and then if I have to do multiple coats because there isn't very much paint on the brush, then I have to do multiple coats. It's just, like I said, it can be a tedious project, depending on how much work you actually have to do with them and with the different shoes, and there's different styles, different materials. It's not, you have to know how to work with all the materials. So it has been a process learning how to do this, and I've watched videos on extensive videos, plus the knowledge I have from being an artist and stuff like that as well, that I've been able to apply to doing the shoes or doing the artwork and stuff like that on shoes and gloves and equipment, and even goalie pads and stuff like that, and doing cool designs. Or one guy actually messaged me and wanted a whole Dragon Ball Z with the balls and stuff on his goalie pads, which I thought was really cool idea, and right up my alley, cartoon work, and I'm good at Dragon Ball Z characters and stuff like that. So it's all really a matter of how much he's willing to pay, because that's going to be extensive work. It's going to be a lot of work, and some people, they don't see it as artwork or anything like that. They just see it as, yeah, something cool for their pads, or they just want to get something cool done, and they don't want to spend the money for it. So I mean, they're like, you know, for artwork like that, if it's your whole pad, it's like basically I'm doing like a painting. Like, so I mean, you know, I'm no Picasso or anything, but it's still a lot of work and a lot of time and prep work and stuff like that. And again, for leather pads, I'm gonna have to strip down the material, get it down to its raw base, so I have to paint it, and then I have to seal it all so that, you know, when the ball or a puck hits his pads, it's not gonna crack the paint and stuff like that. So I have to keep all that in mind with the materials, and the amount of paints and stuff I'm gonna have to use as well. Can get pretty costly. So you know, if he says, oh, I picked my pads up on a deal, I only paid $500 for my pads, whatever, and here I am charging $250, $300 for all the artwork and supplies and stuff, he, you know, he might be like, that's ridiculous, I'm not paying that, that's almost the cost of my pads, you know. So I mean, I'm always, you know, willing to negotiate and stuff like that with people. It's not this, you know, black and white and stuff, but people do have to understand that when they're asking for specific things, like, I mean, you can come to me and say, yeah, I want gargoyles and demons and all this type of stuff on my shoe, and it really means a lot, like, it's gonna look cool, and I want a dragon on one side, and it's like, it's a lot of work. It really is a lot of work, and a lot of supplies and time and effort, and right. So enough about that. So I just want to explain a little bit of the process. Hopefully for the few people, there's actually 3 or 4 people that messaged me about it in the process, so hopefully I answered your questions. Sorry you had to wait so long for your questions to get answered. If there is anything else you'd like to know or that I missed, please feel free to message myself or Ken at YesYouKen Sports, and I'll do my best to answer your questions and help you out. Even if you want to do it yourself and learn how to do it yourself, you know, I can help you with the, you know, just ask me questions and stuff like that. Supplies, it's a little harder for me to get my supplies lately. Since I have moved from Toronto, I used to get them in downtown Toronto. They used to always be available to me. So even ordering them now it's like to order, it's like 24, 25 bucks to get it delivered. For 24, 25 bucks, I can get a couple more colors, you know what I mean? So it's almost worth it for me just to drive instead, or when I'm in Toronto to stop by and try and grab as much as I can when I'm there. I'm also looking at suppliers in the States, but it seems like if it's $9.99 for a small bottle in Canada, then it's like $8.99 US with suppliers in the States, so it's obviously not worth it either. So always trying to, get the best deals or trying to buy in bulk and stuff like that. So yeah, if it's something you're looking to get into or would like to experiment with and have fun with, by all means. If it's something you'd like to get done and you want it done, I'm your man. I'll take care of it for you. Just let me know what you're looking. Sometimes if it's a budget thing, you only want to spend like 30, 40 bucks and just change colorways, I can do that, no problem. We can work it out. And yeah, that's about it, guys. I don't have much to talk about. I'm excited to be back. Not fully yet, a couple more weeks before I finally get to step on the floor and test it. But I have been at the gym, like I said, and I'm excited. Can't wait to play and get back in the routine and have a lot of fun. All right, guys. So again, if you guys would like to know anything or have me talk about anything on future episodes, please DM me. It's been quiet of late. I'm assuming that's our fault because of the inconsistency and stuff with the episodes, and if we are even doing it still and stuff like that. I did get a question about that actually 2 days ago. So yes, we are still doing it. I'm gonna talk to Ken, see how we want to proceed and move on, and what else we'd like to cover and do. I have some ideas. I've already bounced off of them. I'd like to cover some games and stuff like that. Maybe even the April tournament. Maybe I can record some of the content from there, introduce you to some of the guys from the team and stuff like that from PA Fury, as well as some guys from other teams that are down in the tournament in Irving, New York, which is just outside of Buffalo, by the way. And yeah, maybe you guys would like to see stuff like that. Some of the tournaments that I go to and some coverage from those. All right, guys. So until then, look forward to episode number 11. And I'll try and get these shoes done as quick as possible. Obviously, with the tournament coming up, I'm going to need to start cracking on them and see if I can get that logo on there and something simple. All right, guys, so we'll see you in next episode, and you guys have a good rest of the week. All right, peace.